morning, Joe here at Larry's Pistol and Pawn. We're in the ammo dump shooting range as we are every Friday. Today I thought we'd go old school. Today we're going to talk about a gun that's been around for a long time. This is the Mauser, commonly known as a broom handle because of the way the stock is here. This is a really interesting gun. Been around since about 1896, made up until around 1937. Commonly referred to as a C96 because it was constructed in 1996. It's a really interesting gun. A lot of famous people have carried this gun. Lawrence of Arabia, the actual Lawrence of Arabia, not Peter O'Toole necessarily, carried one of these during the time he was in Arabia. There were 3 C96s used in killing of the Spanish Prime Minister, Eduardo Doto, in 1921. The Indian Revolutionary Ram Prasad and his partymen used these Mauser pistols in historic Kokori raid train robbery in August of 25. So this thing has a very much a history of use at a lot of occasions over in the European and African area. C96 was used to assassinate the King of Yugoslavia back in 1934. So the communist revolutionaries used these things, and they're commonly referred to a lot of times as a bolo gun because they were used in the Bolshevik Revolution. So this is quite a bit of history right here. Now, interestingly enough about this particular firearm, this firearm uses a 7.63 round. Yeah, that's not a typo, 7.63. And it looks like this. This is what an actual 7.63 round looks like. It's not the same as a 7.62, it's a 7.63 by 45. Interesting round indeed. If you've seen a lot of the old movies, you've seen this particular type of firearm in use. In the movie Joe Kidd, Clint Eastwood carried one of these kinds of firearms. It's a great firearm for that kind of situation he was in the movie Joe Kidd. Until 1937, when the .357 Magnum came along, this was the most powerful handgun cartridge produced until 1937. And of course, it went out of production in 1937. So this is a great, really interesting piece of history we've got here with us today, shooting at the range at Larry's here. If you ever want to get a hold of one of these things, they run anywhere from $1,000 if you can find one, up to probably $8,000 or $9,000 depending on condition. It's a really interesting piece of history though. They also come with a buttstock. There's a groove right here that the buttstock slides up into. Unfortunately, we don't have one, but the buttstock slides up in here so you can fire this from the shoulder. Also, then when you take the buttstock off, the gun itself fits up into the buttstock, making it a very compact package that you could carry into a suitcase or a pack or something like that. It's a really interesting piece of history we've got here today. All right, so I've fired off 5 rounds. You saw how perfect it fired. We're shooting only about 30 feet here today, but if you want to shoot a really long distance, this thing even comes with an artillery scale on it so that you can really reach out with this thing. It's really interesting. There's a lot of really good engineering went into this thing by the Mauser company when they put this thing together. Again, popularized back in 1896, been around for a long time. It's a really interesting gun. If you want to shoot it, we do not have one here at the range. This is from a private collection we borrowed today. But we have many other guns here at the range you can shoot. So come and shoot with us here at Larry's on North Memorial Parkway in beautiful downtown Huntsville. Okay, that's it for this week. Check you next week. Bye-bye.